In the previous lecture, I have discussed about the fluctuating load and solved a problem on that. In today's lecture, we'll see the helical torsional spring. In this helical torsional spring, usually this is used for door hinges, levers, and various electrical devices where torque is required. And whatever the wound is done, okay, this is similar to that of the extension and compression spring. However, if you see here, the both the ends of these springs are shaped to transmit the torque, and the primary stresses in this spring is bending stress. As we know that bending stress is induced because of the bending moment, and which is equal to the torsional moment. Whatever the bending moment is there, it will be equal to the torsional moment. In addition to the direction of the compression or the tensile stresses due to the force, and the force will be acting tangential to the direction. This is about the torsion spring, and how to solve the problems or how to design the torsional spring. Here we can see the equations which are used for torsional spring. In the Bulbarity data handbook, the figure 11.1d we need to refer, okay, which I have shown in the next slide. Here we can see that this is the torsional figure which is there in a data handbook. It is different types of springs which are given in that figure 11.1. From that D figure, they written the equation. As I told you, the member will be subjected for stresses. Okay, how to calculate the maximum stress in the torsional spring. This is the formula: sigma is equal to K into T by Z. T is nothing but the torsion or the torque which will be acting, torsional moment which will be acting, and as I told you, the torsional moment is equal to the bending moment. In this point you can see that whatever the bending moment is there, it will be equal to the torsional moment. Therefore bending moment M is equal to torsional moment. It is denoted by T. We know that torsion is force multiplied by radius. Radius is d by 2. They have substituted that d by 2. This is what the torque or torsion moment which we are going to get. After that, to find out the K value, K is nothing but the stress factor which you have solved the problem in the previous spring problems. Okay, in that how to calculate the value of K. In this K1 or K2 we can take that value we are going to take it from the graph or from the figure, that is 11.3. We can see that the stress factor for the helical spring. From this graph you are going to note down the K value. In this case you can see that whatever the spring index is there, okay, spring index is nothing but it is denoted by C. It is the ratio of mean diameter to the diameter of the wire. This ratio will be given, otherwise if it is not given, you need to calculate that, and that value we are going to get. For example, if I get C is equal to 5, okay, you need to calculate the value of K. You need to move upward, okay. From here you will get that stress factor K. If I am getting 5, if it is K means it will be 1.3. Similarly, if you want to take down the value of K1, K2, like that, you need to refer. This is one method, and one more method is there to find out the K value. Here you can see that in equation 11.25b. in this equation, either you can use this first or second formula, 4c minus 1 divided by 4c minus 4, or the other formula you can use to calculate the value of k1. Once you calculate the value of k1, here you can see that k is equal to k1, means whatever the k1 you are going to get here, this is nothing but the stress factor. Directly you can substitute that in this equation. Okay, that is one method. Either you can use the graph, or by using the formula 11.25b, you can get that stress factor. After that, torsional moment T, it is F into D by 2, and the Z is nothing but the section modulus. Okay, and the section modulus Z is equal to pi d cube by 32. Okay, the diameter of the wire will be given. From that you will get the section modulus, and D is nothing but the mean diameter. A is the cross sectional area, that is pi by 4 d square. Okay, diameter will be given. If you substitute that diameter, you will get the area. From that you will get the maximum stress which will be induced in the torsion spring from equation 11.24a. And if you want to find out the deflection, to calculate the deflection, you have to use this 11.24b equation. In that, y is nothing but the deflection, t is the torsional moment, L is nothing but the length of the coil, total length of the coil. You have to use this formula I pi into d. By using this formula, we can calculate the total length of the coil. And capital D, you know that it is mean diameter. E is Young's modulus. After that, I is moment of inertia. After finding the deflection, next if you want to find out the maximum stress induced in the round wire, okay, that is torsional spring, you can use equation 11.25a. This is how you need to proceed to calculate the torsion or the maximum stresses induced in that member or deflection using these torsional spring equations. Okay, this is the procedure, okay, which you need to follow. Now I am going to take a problem on this. First, I'm going to read the statement, what is given. A free end of a torsional spring deflects through 60 degree. Means whatever the torsional spring is there, it will deflect through angle of 60 degree. Note down that angle, it is 60 degree. Whereas when you're going to substitute that in the formula, it should be in radians. Okay, for that reason, to convert this radian, you need to multiply that with pi by 180. If you multiply the given angle theta, okay, it is in degree. If you multiply that with pi by 180, it will be converted into radians. After that, the theta value is 1.047 when subjected to a torque of 6 Newton meter. The torque is given. Torque is 6 Newton meter. In some of the textbooks, they have mentioned it as M. Okay, M or T. They will mention it as MT. Okay, here, because in the data handbook, they have mentioned it as T. There should not be any confusion for you guys. For that reason, actually, I have written it as MT. Okay, there should not be any confusion. That's why I have written it as T. Some of the textbooks they will write it as MT and T. Both are correct. The torque is equal to 6 Newton meter. If you see the diameter of the wire or the mean diameter, all the values we are going to get in terms of mm. For that reason, the torque which is given, it is in Newton meter. Convert that into Newton mm. Therefore 1 meter is equal to 1000 mm. 6 into 1000, it will be converted into Newton mm. After that, the allowable stress in the spring material is 400 megapascal. Means the maximum allowable stress, it is denoted by sigma. It is 400 megapascal. Megapascal is nothing but Newton per mm square. Note on that if this stress is not given in Newton per mm square or megapascal, you need to convert that into Newton per mm square. Sometimes they will give as Pascal. Pascal is nothing but Newton per meter square. It has to be converted into Newton per mm square. Why? Because all the other dimensions we have taken in mm, like diameter or the torque, we have taken in mm. Otherwise, if you are going to keep this in Pascal, that is Newton per meter square, means the diameter should be in meter, whereas the torque has to be Newton meter. It's left to you. Either you can convert into Newton mm or Newton per meter square, or you can keep it like Newton per meter square. And the spring index is 6. Spring index is denoted by C. C is equal to 6, it is given. Determine the wire diameter. He has asked to calculate the wire diameter, that is denoted by small d. D you need to calculate, and the number of effective turns, that is how many number of effective is nothing but active turns. How many number of active turns are there? You need to calculate I. Okay, you need to calculate D as well as I. And he has given the Young's modulus. Young's modulus is 206.8 gigapascal. Okay, and this gigapascal has to be converted into megapascal. We know that giga is nothing but 10 raised to 9. Okay, megapascal is 10 raised to 6. What I will do, I will take this as 206.8 into 10 raised to 3. Remaining is 10 raised to 6 Pascal. Okay, 10 raised to 6 is nothing but mega. Okay, it will be megapascal. Megapascal is nothing but Newton per mm square. Therefore, E is equal to 206.8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. Still, if you don't know how to do that, I will show that. Here you can see that giga is nothing but 10 raised to 9. Okay. Pascal is Newton per meter square. I will split this into 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 6 Pascal. In this case, 10 raised to 6 is nothing but mega. Therefore, it is equal to 10 raised to 3 mega Pascal. Therefore, it will be 206.8 into 10 raised to 3 megapascal. Megapascal is nothing but Newton per mm square. After that, from this, you need to calculate the value of D and I. Now, first, I'm going to calculate the wire diameter. Okay. From this equations, this is the torsional spring. Whatever the spring is given, okay, this is a round wire spring. You can see that he has asked to calculate the diameter. Okay, means I have to use this round wire spring formula. Sigma is equal to, okay, using equation 11.25a. Use this equation. The torque is given. Directly I'm going to take that. In this, how to calculate the value of K1. K1 can be calculated using this formula 11.25 B. Why? Because K1 is equal to stress factor, and here you can see that either you can use this formula, or you can use the figure 11.3 which I have shown. Using this figure you can calculate the value of K, or you can use this formula. Okay, I am going to take down that formula. Sigma is equal to 11.25 A. Use this formula. In this, torque is given K1. You can use the formula. Using the formula, you can calculate the value of K1. Capital D is not given, whereas C value is given. From that, you can take down the value of D. Small d, you need to calculate this. Okay, from the spring index formula, we know that spring index is nothing but it is the ratio of mean diameter to the diameter of the wire. Okay, take this d to the left hand side. Therefore, from the given data, C value is given. Substitute the C value, it is 6. Okay, therefore d is equal to 60. We can substitute this d in the above equation. Okay, and one more is K1 is not given. Okay, and it will not be given. Stress factor will not be given. You have to calculate that stress factor either using the formula or using the 11.3 equation. That is equation 11.25b. Substitute the value of C. C is given as 6. Substitute the values. After substituting that, the K1 value, I will be getting it as 1.141. Okay. Once you get the K1 value, you substitute the K1 value in the above equation. And sigma is given. It is 400 Newton per mm square. After that, the torsion is given. It is 6 Newton meter. Substitute that. K1 value, just now I calculated that. Substitute the value. D value is 6D. Substitute that. Divided by pi d cube. D is not given. You need to calculate that. Whereas capital D is 6D. Substitute that. After solving this equation, the D value, you will get it as 5.652 mm. Okay, whatever the diameter which you are going to get from this D, you have to take the standard diameter. Okay, and to take that standard diameter, in the previous lectures I have solved so many problems. In that, we have taken the standard diameter. Okay, we will be taking it from table number 11.2. From table number 11.2, data handbook page number 188. From that, the standard diameter. Okay, whatever the diameter is there, it is 5.5. After that, the next standard diameter is 6. Okay, whereas D value we are getting it as 5.65. Means you cannot select 5.5. Okay, you have to take the greater one. After 5.5, immediate greater value is 6. Therefore, the standard diameter which I will be selecting is 6 mm. This is how we will get the standard diameter of the spring wire. Okay, once you get the diameter, you can calculate the mean diameter. Therefore, mean diameter is equal to 6 into D. Substitute the value of D as 6. 6 are 36. Therefore, mean diameter will be 36 mm. Once you calculate the mean diameter of the spring, next he has asked you to calculate the number of effective turns. This number of effective turns is nothing but number of active turns. Here you can see that number of effective turns is nothing but number of active turns. Okay, to calculate that value, I'll be using this deflection equation. Okay, a deflection equation is 11.24b. Okay, in this first you see what are the values they have given. 11.24b, deflection is equal to TLD by 2EI. Okay, I is nothing but moment of inertia. E is given. T is also given. That is torsional moment is also given. Length of the coil or the spring you can calculate using this I pi into D. Therefore, L is equal to I pi D. Whereas in this case, D just now you have calculated mean diameter. Whereas I, you need to calculate that. I is nothing but number of active turns in the spring. Okay, therefore y is equal to TLD by 2EI. Okay, in this case, if you see the given statement, in that he has given the angle, the free angle. Okay, whatever the theta angle is there, it is given as 60 degree. Okay, and when you're going to substitute that in an axial deflection, it has to be converted into radians. Already you have done that. Theta is equal to 60 into pi by 180. Therefore, it is 1.047. Take that theta value, and we know that axial deflection is nothing but y is equal to theta into radius, or y is equal to theta into d by 2, where theta will be in radians. While substituting this, you need to keep in mind that don't substitute the value of theta in terms of degree. In this, it will be in terms of radians. Okay, d value is 36, I is 1.047. Substitute the value, you will get the axial deflection as 18.85 mm. Once you get this axial deflection in this y, we also know that axial deflection from 11.24b equation. Substitute the value of y, axial deflection 18.85, d, L is nothing but I pi into d. Substitute that I pi into d, capital D, it is calculated mean diameter, it is 36 mm, divided by 2e into I is nothing but moment of inertia, it is pi d raised to 4 by 64. In this, the small d is calculated diameter of the wire or the coil, it is 6 mm. Substitute the values, T is 6000, Y is 18.85, mean diameter D is 36 mm. I, you need to calculate that, that is the number of active turns or number of effective turns. This D is the mean diameter, it is 36. Substitute that value. Take this 64 to the numerator. Okay, this 64 will go to the numerator. 2 into E. E is given, it is 206.8 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. Substitute that value, pi e raised to 4. D value is given. Oh, sorry, D value are calculated that. D is 6 mm. That is standard you have to take. Substitute the value. Okay. After calculating this, you will get the value of I. I is equal to 20.3. Whereas whatever the number of active turns or number of turns on the spring, it cannot be in decimal. That's why you have to take the next greater value. Next, immediate next value is 21. Therefore, I is equal to 21 number of active turns which are there on the spring. This is how you need to solve problems on torsion. If you have any